Hey, welcome to today's video. This one is a little bit different as it is 1 year for flipitnation on YouTube. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and I'm also going to show you a few things that we picked up for £50, spent another £50 on, and managed to make them over for our house. It is our new place in Kent in the UK, so some of you may know if you follow my channel that my family and I recently moved from New Zealand, which is where I was born, to the UK where my wife is from. If you have an international family, you might kind of know that there are a few struggles with that, and it can be quite difficult to find a balance because wherever you are, someone's missing someone. But we have come to terms with that, and my wife and I are quite adaptable. As a few of our close friends in our family know, we're always kind of on the move, and nothing's forever with us. It's just kind of take it as it comes. Anyhow, I guess that's kind of how I got into YouTube. I wanted to spend a bit more time at home with my son and my wife, and I also wanted something that was flexible. So I know that if we're moving from one country to another, which is very likely at any time, that I have something to go with and can make some money. And also I'm extremely passionate about it. I just love it. I love every aspect of making a video, from the furniture part, recording. I'm not so comfortable with this part of it, the being on camera, but that's okay, you got to get over these things, through to the editing and just getting the video out there and chatting with the community and sort of seeing how people, I guess, receive things. Our lounge suite arrives tomorrow, and this is a rug that we just got from Dunelm.
Oh, look.
Just buy it online. Oh, it looks nice.
Really nice. It's
What size was this?
200 by 290 centimetres, the Boston wool border, dark natural.
Happy?
Yes.
We are getting quite used to moving and then having to refurnish our houses, so it's really important to us that we feel right at home wherever we are, and we tend to settle into places pretty quickly. So that dining table that you can see at the end there, that was a £25 marketplace find. These are photos from the listing. It's solid oak, nice and sturdy, it has a good country vibe, and that's kind of what we're after in our house. We decided to go with black and natural tones throughout, so we're going to go black legs on this and keep the top nice, light and natural. My first kind of initial thoughts on YouTube was it's going to take quite a while for me to take off. I'd sort of read stuff that you might take a year and a half to get 1,000 subscribers, and so that's kind of what I was expecting. And after I put up my first video, I think I was almost at the 1,000, which was awesome. Obviously, a few people out there were enjoying what I was putting up, so that was a really good start and a boost to my confidence, so I could sort of keep on going with them. Now, apologies, this is not sort of my usual scenario, sitting in front of the camera. Basically just sitting in the garage, or garage as you call it in America. I cop a lot of slack for that in a lot of the comments. A few of the things I say, people either don't know what I'm talking about or I'm saying it incorrectly. Anyhow, sitting in the garage, and yeah, it's not the ideal situation, but it's what we've got for today. And apologies for my voice, I'm a bit nasally at the moment. I've got a bit of a cold. It's just that kind of like end of winter cold that, I don't know, I always get it. Good story. So I'll just reflect on a few things. I've made a lot of mistakes with some of the things that I've done. In particular, one video sort of comes to mind, sort of stands out like a sore thumb. I did a telephone bench, not the one that I've just done in the challenge, but it was probably like my 5th video or something like that. Anyhow, I had never done upholstery before. I'd never sort of reupholstered anything, and there was a cushion on it. And I didn't have a nail remover. I didn't have anything to pull out the nails, so I used a chisel, and I'll never forget that. And it was absolutely probably the worst thing I could have done, use this chisel. The comments that I got, like I was breaking people's hearts, people were crying for the chisel. It was quite full on, and it was quite an eye-opener. So the chisel's fine. We still get on quite well. We're all good, so don't worry about the chisel. Take a breath and let's just move on from it. I regretted the decision to use the chisel. Okay. The reason that I really decided to start making videos was because I watched Jay from Flipping Drawers, and I watched him do the tea trolley, and he put a brass inlay, and I was like, oh, I'd really like to give that a go. Then I sort of thought, oh, perhaps I should record myself doing something and just sort of see what happens. I've got experience with cameras. I used to be a camera operator when I left school, so I used to work like recording rugby games, sport, horse racing, all that kind of stuff. I thought, well, I've got that. Why don't I just try? So I did record it and I put it up and it went well. But yeah, a big part of my success I feel like I owe to Jay, because I wouldn't have done it without him. I was quite inspired by him. He's very black and white. There's no grey. He doesn't pretend to be something he's not. He just does what he does, and he gets better and better each time he does it. And that's what I really admire, and that's what I hope for with my journey, to kind of pick up some of those things. Yeah, one of my favourite things is that I got to do the MCM challenge with Jay and a bunch of other awesome people. So that was probably, so far, has been a bit of a highlight for me. And I was a little bit worried going in, because I had, one of the lowest subscriber counts out of everyone. And I was a little bit nervous. But it went really well, fortunately. I think a big part of that is because my wife helped me with that weaving. There were a lot of comments about that. I read a comment this morning where someone said, "Rest in peace to your marriage," basically, which I thought was really rude. And it upset me a little bit. It absolutely didn't. I get these comments all the time. It's ridiculous. I don't know what kind of relationship you've got with your husband or your wife, but, you help each other out, don't you? Actually, this is a desk that she asked me to do for her. She found this desk on Marketplace, and she decided that she had a colour in mind. She found these handles that she really liked, so I did that for her. So, just goes to show it's not all one way, and I do help her out. When it comes to making YouTube videos, I probably enjoy the most. I really enjoy the editing part of it. I think it's because when I am restoring or refinishing a piece and I'm filming it, I'm trying to tell a story in my head, so I'm kind of mapping it out. But once I start editing and I see it coming together, I really, really like that. I find that really satisfying. For a lot of people, I do know that it's the hardest part for them and it takes the longest, the editing of the video. Fortunately for me, it's the fastest. I'm very quick at getting it done, just due to my past experience. For me, the hardest part of a YouTube video, I think, is trusting that it's good enough. You sort of make something and you see it in person, and then you watch the video back and I'm like, are people actually going to enjoy that? So that's probably the hardest part for me, to be honest, is actually hitting the upload button. Some people are quite interested in more personal things, like myself, my family, what we do. Like what my wife does is, my wife works in marketing. She works from home, so she's on her laptop a lot. It's amazing. She can work from pretty much anywhere in the world. I do YouTube, and I also look after our son now, so I'm getting a lot more time with him, which I absolutely love. It's just been the most amazing thing. I never thought I would want to be kind of like the stay-at-home dad, but I'm absolutely frothing on it. I love it. I love spending time with him. How do I make money on YouTube? That's definitely something I get asked a lot. Basically, the way I get paid generally is through the ads that play in the video, and that's why it is important. I know it's frustrating. You just want to skip. By playing those ads, it helps the creators earn the money. Otherwise, a lot of people do make all these videos, put a lot of time into it for really nothing. I was very fortunate. I got monetized. I think I was monetized within 30 days, which isn't common at all. And I certainly don't say to anyone, "Oh yeah, join YouTube, you'll get monetized straight away." That's just not always the case. I got very lucky, and I'm very grateful that that was my experience, and I know it's not like that for everyone. My sister-in-law found this bedside table when she was out for a walk, so she grabbed it for me. Fortunately, the next day they'd put the other one out, so I now had a matching set. They were well built, the drawers slid really nicely, so they were a great contender for the master bedroom. I went black, of course, spent about £20 on some new hardware with an aged brass look, and I find bedside tables can be some of the hardest pieces to find and actually like. But we were really, really happy with how these turned out. when it comes to tools, if I'm buying something like an orbital sander or a drill or something, I try and go for something that's probably a little bit more expensive than the cheaper brands, only because the warranty, and I go by reviews and stuff like that, I want them to last a bit longer, because otherwise you just keep pouring money into the same thing. But when it comes to basic tools like clamps or whatever, I just kind of go for whatever's the cheapest, really, to be honest. You kind of learn where to spend the money, which is probably like the products and stuff like that you use, like stains and varnishes, paints. Yes, because sometimes I paint, and I know that's a bit like taboo as well. Like, you know, I put up one video, I don't know, painted the legs of a table or something, and people just kicked off. But seriously, can you look around your whole entire house and not see one single piece of painted furniture? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. But as you'll see, the pieces I'm showing you in this video, they are all painted, have got some form of black paint on them. But this cabinet in particular, I actually painted from top to bottom. There is no exposed wood, and that's probably going to upset people too. So my response to the painting of furniture, I do understand if it's an antique piece or, you know, like a valuable piece of furniture, but for something that's old, that was destined for the dump, that I'm picking up, putting into my own home, or it's a customer request, I think it's okay to paint. I think it's okay. So yeah, if you are upset about the amount of paint that I put on the furniture, or any painted pieces that I've done in the past or do in the future, I promise you I won't invite you over to my house, and I won't make you sit and stare at it. I won't make you feel uncomfortable around it. I understand you need your distance from it, so that's okay. It's all good. Moving on. One thing I am really grateful for is the community on YouTube. I've got such awesome subscribers, people that comment, you know, lots of really kind comments, really sweet, especially in regards to my family, my son, who as a tradition makes an appearance in every single video. I just get lots of really lovely feedback, and there are, you know, there's the occasional nasty comment, but very occasional. And there's some good developmental kind of feedback as well that comes through. So it all helps, you know, people recommending products, recommending other YouTubers to watch, which I absolutely try and watch them all, but sometimes you miss them. It's crazy. You could be watching someone and they recommend someone else that you've never heard of, and you go in and I've just got this library of epic videos that you haven't seen. So there's plenty out there. And when it comes to YouTube, people will say, oh, is it even worth starting a YouTube if I wanted to do something similar? Absolutely it is. Like, my journey has just been crazy. Like, I'm definitely not the fastest growing channel on YouTube by any means, not even in my niche or niche, wherever you live in the world. You can find an audience. If you're passionate about something and you put the effort into it and you're doing it because you're passionate, not just because you want to make an income from it, that's additional, and that's awesome when that happens. Definitely start. Just push record, and yeah, you'd be surprised. I would say this YouTube journey has changed my life massively. It's really given me so much motivation and drive to just keep on going, because I get so much from it, and a big part of that, yeah, is from the community. So thank you so much for subscribing or just watching. Yeah, sort of my aspirations for my channel are just to grow. I think I'm currently sitting at 9,500 subscribers as I record this, which blows my mind. I just never expected to have that kind of number in the first year, so I'm really stoked with that. Yeah, there's a few tools that I would really like to get. I need to get myself a table saw. I don't know how I've survived without one, to be fair. And I'm also hoping to get a router or a router. What do you call it? Router? I don't know. In New Zealand we call it a router. I think it's a router. So there are a couple of things that I'm hoping to get my hands on this year. But yeah, as the income grows, I'll obviously invest more and more and more into the workshop. It's pretty basic at the moment, but I really enjoy it. It does its job. So I guess I'll wrap the video up now. I've been talking for far too long, and you have either probably turned off, tuned out, or just wishing that I would stop talking. So, a massive thank you for joining me on my YouTube journey so far. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. If you have any other questions, if there's anything you'd like to see in my videos, please let me know. Like, I'm all ears. Everything I do is generally from the feedback that I get from you guys. So yeah, please keep it coming. And until next time, take it easy.